Alright, what's good people on the Carnage Clan channel? My name is T-Bats, and I know the anticipation has been absolutely tearing you guys apart one by one over when you would hear my nice elegant voice on the Carnage Clan channel once again, but I'm here to give in to your demands. I'm here to ease your pain. But before I do all those things, I have to acknowledge this gameplay. This is a solo 70 gun streak on Call of Duty Ghosts by Carnage Swag. Once again, I am faced with a gameplay that I can never hope of getting myself, but you know what? I will accept the fact that I am a commentator, but watching this gameplay really makes me want to go and play Call of Duty Ghosts. But I really have a feeling that I'm not going to have the same results or have the same success as what you're seeing in this gameplay right now. So I'm not even going to bother. But if you enjoyed this gameplay, be sure to go check out Carnage Swag's channel. The link will be down below in the description. And if you want to come over and boost my self-esteem, the link to my channel will be down there as well. It appears as though it's that point in time once again at the end of a COD game's life cycle where the game's rather stale and nobody really feels like playing it, and there's pretty much nothing left to do in it. Everything that could have been done pretty much has already been done in terms of gameplays and all that good stuff. Anyways, Advanced Warfare is coming out, and I kind of want to talk about something that involves Advanced Warfare, but at the same time, this principle applies to pretty much every single Call of Duty game out there, and that is critical perks. Now, if you're not familiar with that term, critical perk, it means a perk that is very, very dominant in that particular tier, or in some cases very, very dominant throughout the whole entire game. A few examples of critical perks would be, say, Stopping Power from Modern Warfare 2, Stopping Power from COD 4, and pretty much World at War as well. I mean, all three of those games really heavily were influenced by Stopping Power. Now, people are probably going to be thinking, well, isn't One Man Army a critical perk? I would not consider One Man Army a critical perk. I would consider One Man Army a game-breaking perk along with Danger Close, because in my opinion, you should really separate critical perks from game-breaking perks, because critical perks aren't necessarily game-breaking most of the time, whereas One Man Army and Danger Close, those were definitely game-breaking, so I wouldn't count them as critical at all. And then when you move on to Modern Warfare 3, you had, one could argue, Assassin maybe as a critical perk, and then you also have Sitrep Pro after it was buffed. Now, Sitrep Pro, if you're not familiar with that, was absolutely ridiculous. You could hear people pretty much across the map, even if you didn't have a headset on, and that's what pretty much ruined Modern Warfare 3 for me, at least. And moving on to Black Ops 2 and moving on to COD Ghosts, there's one perk in particular that was in both games, however named differently, but there was one perk in both of those games that really stuck out to me as a critical perk, and that would be the Toughness perk in Black Ops 2 and the Focus perk in Call of Duty Ghosts. Now, say I was playing Black Ops 2, right? I felt as though I was at a complete disadvantage, or I lost every single gunfight because I didn't have Toughness on, and the person that I was in a gunfight with either had Toughness on or they got lucky. But there were so many times in Black Ops 2 where I just wanted to not run Toughness and maybe try out some of the other perks in that tier, and I would have to go back to Toughness because I would not be able to kill anybody. And yes, there were the wild cards, but the point of the matter is you have 10 points, and then 3 out of my 10 points have to be burned on a perk that I pretty much have to have in order to have any success in that particular game. You'll probably notice that I didn't talk about Black Ops 1 in terms of these critical perks. One could argue that Ghost was a critical perk in Black Ops 1, but in my opinion it really wasn't, and Black Ops 1 really nailed perk balance perfectly. Because if you go to the tier that Ghost was in, which was the first tier, the blue tier, whatever it was, there was Ghost, there was Hardline, Scavenger, Lightweight, and Flak Jacket. All of those perks are extremely useful, and there was no wild cards back in Black Ops 1, so you had to only pick one of those perks. Those perks are all extremely balanced, so if you ran Ghost, you would have to deal with getting blown up by explosives and stuff, or if you ran Ghost, you wouldn't be able to get your kill streaks earlier or change your care packages with Hardline. There were sacrifices, which what made it balanced. It made the perks extremely balanced, and it allowed people to run other perks in that tier without having to feel like they had to run Ghosts. With all the Advanced Warfare information and the Advanced Warfare gameplay floating out there, it's confirmed that Toughness is making a comeback yet again in Advanced Warfare for the 3rd year in a row. Now, this really concerns me because I feel as though Toughness is going to be a critical perk again for the 3rd year in a row, and I don't want to be forced to run a perk like I had to in Black Ops 2 and in COD Ghosts. I want to be able to use other perks and to not have to burn points on perks that I absolutely need to have, or else I won't be able to play the game successfully. Because people really complained about Stopping Power back in COD 4, back in World at War, back in Modern Warfare 2, and then once they removed that, it was fine for a while until Black Ops 2 came out and they pretty much replaced Stopping Power with Toughness. It doesn't really make any sense. You don't really need these critical perks in the game. In my opinion, the best way to get rid of critical perks is to have them built into your character. For instance, instead of making Stopping Power a perk, make everyone's gun, do the same amount of damage. And instead of having Toughness, make everybody have built-in Toughness. Just take the flinch out of the game. I don't know why flinch is even in COD games, because it just makes the game so annoying, at least in my opinion. With all the futuristic aspects present in Advanced Warfare, I don't know why they can't just either build toughness into the character or build toughness into the exosuit. Don't make it a perk, don't make it an exosuit ability, but just make it so that everybody has toughness, or better yet, just remove gun flinch as a whole, which is pretty much the same thing. Either build in toughness or remove gun flinch as a whole, because I don't want to sit through another COD game knowing that I have to burn my points on toughness or else I will not be able to win gunfights. That's pretty much how it's felt with me throughout the past Call of Duty games, like throughout Black Ops 2 and throughout COD Ghost. Back in the older COD games, you didn't really notice it that much because there was gun flinch, but at the same time there was no perks to counter gun flinch. There was a perk in Black Ops 1, I think it was Hard and Pro, and there was a proficiency in Modern Warfare 3, but it wasn't really as dominant as it was in these past two COD titles. Or if you don't want to take gun flinch out of the game because you think that's not like realistic or something, then take out anything that affects gun flinch so that everybody has the same amount of gun flinch. That's another option as well. However, to be fair and to not doubt Advanced Warfare before it even comes out and before the general public even has their hands on it, I don't know, and we don't know how toughness and how gun flinch is going to behave in Advanced Warfare. It could be the same exact thing as COD Ghost and Black Ops 2, or they could have toned it down a little bit, because I know a lot of people have really complained about toughness in Black Ops 2 and Focus and Call of Duty Ghost, so maybe they might have seen those complaints and maybe they might have toned it down a little bit just to make it more balanced. So if the gun flinch isn't that bad, but toughness is still in the game, and it's not to the point where I have to run toughness, then I won't really have a problem with it. But if it's like Black Ops 2, or it's like COD Ghost, I'm kind of going to have a problem with it, because it's going to be a perk that I already know that I'm going to have to run, or else I'm not going to be able to be successful and to get any sort of good scores or anything on Advanced Warfare. Even though I'm not a gameplay channel, it's still really fun to do well in Call of Duty. That's why Call of Duty is a really fun game, because when you're like in the zone and you're just wrecking people, it is just amazing. It's amazing, it's an amazing feeling, and it's very entertaining to watch. If you're still watching this, then feel free to leave your thoughts about toughness or critical perks in general down below in the comments section. I'm very curious to see exactly who agrees with me and who disagrees with me. If you disagree with me, then please say why. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong or anything, but I'm very curious to see if people actually have a valid argument, or a compelling argument, to me at least, as to why toughness should be in the game. And if a lot of people don't like toughness, maybe we as a community can sort of pitch an idea to the developers and be like, listen, can you tone down toughness a little bit? Can you make it not as bad as in Black Ops 2 and Call of Duty Ghost? I don't think it would happen right away, because typically things only get fixed if the pros complain about it, because the pros have a very strong influence over the game. Anyways, this gameplay is coming to wrap here. Again, if you enjoyed this gameplay, be sure to go check out Carnage Swag's channel. Link will be down below in the description. And if you like the commentary, then feel free to check out my channel, and also follow Carnage Clan on Twitter. The link will be down below in the description as well for that. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to rate the video, and as always, take it easy, and hopefully I'll be back sooner than I was this time. Bye.
Okay, let's go.